Hello everyone, it is Lucy and today we are making a festive Christmas video because I'm a festive Christmas gal. I am possessed by the spirit of Christmas, even though the average Australian Christmas is like 31 degrees Celsius, sweltering hot and melty. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen the kind of like ranking food videos. I very much enjoy a little bit of Keith Eat the Menu. I very much enjoy a little bit of Kitchen and John. And I've also seen Vincent's video where he is like making and trying Christmas cookies. For whatever reason, I and my lovely friend Mary, yeah baby, we were kind of talking about like, oh, there's so many Christmas cookies and we both really love baking. And I was like, oh, it'd be really fun to like rank every Christmas cookie. There's a lot of debate about what is and isn't a Christmas cookie, but I have somewhat amalgamated what I would consider to be Christmas cookies, ones that I'm like certain like these are Christmas cookies that we are aware of in like the Anglosphere. And then other ones which I'm kind of like, they're sort of a Christmas cookie, sort of not, sort of a general celebration cookie, some of which I may have gotten completely wrong because I am a white comic woman from Australia, so please correct me if they are from your country or your culture and they're like not a Christmas cookie. The internet has information and as we know, not always reliable and necessarily correct. So today we are hoping to determine once and for all which is the ultimate Christmas cookie of the 8 we have got today. Let's get to testing and ranking. I have tasted some of these before because I have made some of them before, but some of them I have never tried. And I have been reasonably restrained throughout the baking process to not sample them.
No, you've been very restrained. You haven't tried any of them. We have
Thank you, Mummy.
munched on quite a lot of the depot.
I could honestly take half the clips out of this and just do like an ASMR mukbang. I cut out all the slurping and chewing and just stitch it together.
I feel like you should start an ASMR channel.
I want to, but I feel like I
watching.
have enough on my plate.
No,
I have
for
8
now,
plates here,
absolutely.
but-
Yeah.
Alrighty, we're gonna start off with one of the kind of more traditional classics that I feel like a lot of people have, and that is just your classic butter shortbread. Now I've actually used the Nigella Lawson recipe because Nigella is queen, so it's a little bit more like buttery and it's kind of coated with a layer of like vanilla sugar. This is a little bit more, I would say, like melty because it's got a bit of corn flour in it, but I would still very much class it as a shortbread, and it is also like my shortbread that I make every Christmas. Oh, I should also introduce everyone. This is Mary.
Hello.
We have been friends since we were 11.
She sat next to me in a maths class and then didn't actually stop talking for the entire maths class.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And you just chatted the whole time and I'm like, okay, I guess I have friend now.
We were both new at said
A new school. Yeah.
that year.
Yes.
But we also have long-term bonded over baking, and Mary has brought, I suppose, to the table some delicious like traditional German Christmas cookies. Is that
Yes.
right? Mary is very talented in many things. We can't even cover them in this video, but you are an amazing German speaker.
I have like a B2 maybe, but it's enough to read a recipe book, and that is the important thing.
And how old is the recipe book that we had something translated from?
It is a 1952 German recipe book called Das große Kochbuch, the big cookbook.
We have got some like legitimate, like real Christmas cookies. But let's try this just classic plain old Nigella shortbread. I feel like you've definitely had this before. I make it every year.
I think so. They're very good though.
It's definitely shortbread, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's so buttery, it can't not be.
It's delightful, it's simple, melt in your mouth shortbread, it's shortbread, it's good.
I think most people like it and kids really like it too because it's like a very simple like vanilla flavor. But to me, it's not really like,
I eat anything with sugar.
I think you could have it any time of year. I think it's this one in particular because it kind of looks like snowy. Gives like a Christmas vibe, so I think you could have this another time of year, but I tend to just make it at Christmas time because like
It's nice.
yeah, it's a nice little treat. I'm gonna grab the I can't move my legs. For comparison, let's try the Walker's home bake recipe shortbread melt in the mouth festive shapes. Would you like a Santa?
I would like a Santa.
Cheers. A lot harder. It's yummy in a sort of different way.
Yeah, no, it's very different. It's got that like really good store-bought biscuit vibe. Is the
A top tier store-bought biscuit. It's like not really fair to pit a grocery store cookie. In fact, I don't even know if we should really put them in the rankings.
Honestly,
It's more of like a thing to compare.
the one
them.
thing I do like about the grocery store cookie is I do like crunch.
I like the snap. Yeah, it's
yeah,
nice.
that is the one thing where it exceeds expectations.
And it's got a really strong buttery flavor, whereas I would say mine's more of like a
mild.
mild.
It's
Maybe
milder and more
maybe the
sugary.
bought one is better.
I like the bought one a lot.
Me too.
For not dipping it in tea, yours is texturally better. The difference is that one's got more salt in it. The store-bought one's got a salty aftertaste.
Yeah, it does.
I think that is the thing that sets it apart from
the Nigella one is like really sweet. That's a special biscuit we'll be trying later. So that's like our classic shortbread. And then kind of in the vein of like vanilla white people treats is our kind of classic American style sugar cookie. This has a royal like vanilla icing. I know typically these also have a colored icing, but I gave up. So sugar cookies are just like a classic kind of cookie, and I'm gonna attribute them to being like an American cookie because I feel like we don't really make like butter cookies.
The sugar cookie is believed to have originated in the mid-1700s in Nazareth, Pennsylvania.
There you go.
According to Wikipedia.
Oh, stunning. And they're never wrong. Another kind of thing which I feel like you can make year round, and I feel like you do see year round, but I feel like Americans, I know you're out there, please inform me. I feel like sugar cookies that are like iced in festive shapes are like a festive thing that you have. I'm gonna have my cute little moon. Would you like one? Little... The flavor is sugar.
The icing is really good.
I feel like these are the chip equivalent of a cookie. Like you can just pound these down. It's like the holiday season, you're just like having a little cup of tea, and it's like usually after like your main Christmas meal, and they're just like sitting somewhere and you're having a drink and you're just like munching these down, and then you kind of realize like half an hour later, you're like, I don't know how many of these I've had. The pile is depleted and I feel a little bit ill, but in like a good festive way. I'm not gonna include the grocery store cookies in this ranking because I feel like they're sort of separate, but in terms of so far, homemade cookies, I'm gonna rank these ones first and then shortbread second.
Yes.
It's still good.
I
think they're all gonna be good. They're all homemade cookies. Alrighty, now we're gonna venture away from the familiar kind of holiday biscuit territory and move on to something that I haven't tried before, but this is a recipe that you brought to me, which is an Italian biscuit called Ricciarelli. Is that?
I don't know how to.
I think that sounds right. So these are made up with primarily egg whites, ground almonds, sugar, and some lemon rind. And I think that's kind of it. And a little bit of dusting of icing sugar, which you put on before you bake, which I'm not normally used to. This looks like a singular gnocco. Wow.
It's really good, right?
Oh, hell yeah. They're also so easy to make.
Yes. 5 ingredients, mix it.
That's so good. I think these other biscuits are in trouble. So I'm just straight up gonna be like, yeah, that one goes to the top immediately for me.
Oh, absolutely.
That is so yummy. The little Italian, little gnocco looking lemony boys. Oh,
I second this motion.
I've had one that I've never tried before, and now I would love you to try one that you've never tried before. This one is a pulveron, or pulveron. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it quite correctly. Now they're kind of from like the Philippines, or at least I've only tried the Philippines ones. And if you are Filipino, there's like a commercial bakery almost, and the specialty is the pulveron, which it's like made of milk powder and butter and a bunch of like yummy kind of, it's very sweet, super, super sweet, super melty, almost like shortbread, but like creamier. But these ones have to go in the fridge. So they might be a little cold, but I've left them out for a bit to get to room temp. But yes,
I love
have
using lard in cooking.
a pulveron.
They smell like butter. These taste like something that I've had before, but I haven't had this before, and I'm trying to work out what it is. You know what? This tasted like salted butter on toast.
Huh.
It's good. I like it.
I loved these a lot as a kid. I think when I had them, I was maybe like 13. I tried them for the first time. I thought they were like incredible. As an adult, they're a little too sweet for my taste now. I think they are a celebratory treat. Like I don't think these are an everyday thing. They're just really, really, really sweet. But they are really, really yummy. And I'm glad that I got to make them because I haven't had them in such a long time. And I have like very fond memories of being quite sick from them. So now let's kind of go from sweet to spice, and let's have some traditional gingerbread. This is the one that I slam down at the holiday festivities. I make these every year. I make so many of these, and I just don't really get sick of them. That shortbread I showed you before was kind of like a variation on a traditional shortbread.
That's
this is
a
like
gingerbread cookie.
This is a gingerbread cookie. That little tree. Oh, cheers. Sorry, I like kind of dipped that in. This particular batch is a little bit crunchier and crispier than I normally like them. They're normally a little bit softer. But the flavor profile's good. In terms of ranking, so we're gonna rank Ricciarelli still number 1, and then the butter cookie and the gingerbread cookie like equal second. Because they're like both good in their own way.
I would put the sugar cookie slightly higher, I think.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Any other time of the year, if I made this in little hearts for Valentine's Day,
Super
sure.
cute.
They're versatile. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about which one brings the spirit of Christmas. Which would make Scrooge do like a slight smile. If this was colored icing, we might be having a different discussion. Because then they'd be like more festive. Alrighty, we've had a little spicy boy and we have some more little spicy boys. But let's go to a cookie that we both tried. and both love. I have used other recipes before, but I really like this recipe. It was just really easy to do. But this is, pronunciation, kurabiedes. This is a Greek little crescent shaped cookie. I would describe it as like a Greek shortbread. I thought these were traditionally a Easter cookie, which they are, but then apparently they're also made at Christmas. They're just like a festive cookie, I think.
The recipe says make 70 on them. It's clearly meant to be festive.
And it also has ground almonds, which are a factor I really like in our current top ranking cookie. Sorry. They're quite voluminous. They have a little clove kind of stabbed into them into the middle. Are you meant to eat that or like take it out?
I eat it.
Okay.
But the thing is
poisonous, right?
No. They're a numbing agent though, so if you suck on it for a little while, it will make your tongue go numb.
It's very messy. And I love all the powdered sugar. It does make them look very festive. I don't know how to rank these.
I'd put them second.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. You've got a little powder on your nose. It kind of looks
so much.
It's just on your nose, and it's just like, because it's icing sugar, it's a bit suspect. The only thing for me is that they're messy. I know that's like not about the taste, but like in terms of a cookie that I can just like pick up and munch crunch, like I can't idly snack on a kurabiedes. I need to have like a bowl.
It is an event.
You're right, it is an event, and that makes them special.
And that makes them more festive.
There has been some debate, there has been some infighting among the judging team. We have decided to put the kurabiedes as number 2 for the moment. I just genuinely feel like gingerbread to me, like a classic gingerbread, is more of a Christmas cookie to me than kurabiedes, but like in this moment they do taste better and they are better. I don't know why. I don't really have any strict judging criteria, but like in my brain, I like the fact that I can pick up a gingerbread and eat it at someone else's house on their couch and not worry about making a mess. But they're worth getting an extra piece of, dinnerware out for.
My legs. Help.
But now let's move on to, my brain's about to say the cursed cookies. I don't know, they're not cursed. Now this one is called Pfeffernüsse. Tell the people about Pfeffernüsse.
Okay, so this is officially the weirdest cookie recipe I've ever made. These biscuits, Pfeffernüsse, it comes from like the city of Aachen in Germany. Funnily enough, they're a Christmas cookie, but this recipe is just nuts. So it's a sugar and honey. You melt the sugar into the honey, and then you mix it in with the flour and the spices. But then what you do is you get a whole bunch of Candyzucker. So they're like candy sugar, rock sugars.
Okay.
Like big
Chunky sugars.
Chunky rock sugars. You smash them, and then you roll that through the dough.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, that's unusual, but it's fine. The next instruction on the recipe is leave the dough to rest at room temperature for several days.
So there's nothing in it, like we were talking about. There's no eggs, there's no butter, there's no milk, nothing that needs to be kept in the fridge. These are all pantry ingredients. So like technically,
there is apparently a running joke that the Pfeffernüsse producers have a running deal with the dentists of the city because they're so hard they break your teeth. I don't think these are quite as hard as they're meant to be. I think they're a little bit bendy.
Oh, okay.
But I think they might harden up over time.
Is there any lemon or orange in these?
Yes, there's lemon zest and orange zest.
Okay, yum. Cheers.
Because there's supposed to be, what's it called? Mixed peel in it. Oh god, that is hurting my teeth. They taste really good though.
The flavor is really like, it's got a real nice like depth of flavor. I mean, it definitely works as an activity for the holidays.
I think it wins on the interesting scale.
Yeah. 100%. As like an experience, it's not a casual cookie.
No.
It's not a light, festive, fun cookie. You know what it's like? These are like the Christmas stories like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, or like, Father Christmas. And this is like Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Like the original where the kid dies.
I'm reading that at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like you can't deny it's like a Christmas biscuit, but it's probably not everyone's like pick for like Christmas Eve, like joyfulness. It does give ghosts.
I think it's really interesting. I'm glad we made them.
I am super glad we made them. But where would you rank the Pfeffernüsse?
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's in a whole category of its own.
I think it's really interesting and it's got a really lovely flavor. But like for today, I do think I'd put it at the bottom.
Ranking one of if you're really, really bored and like have seasonal depression when it's only light for like 4 hours a day. They did used to be stamped with like pictures of creepy saints as well.
Ah, yes, we did forget to mention that. But that's sort of festive in its own way, but I think I would put it last for today's ranking. In like a peacefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's yummy, but like it goes last.
It's an absurd cookie.
Weird. Now, we come to the last cookie, and are you thinking this might be your favorite?
Two of my favorite cookies of all time are these guys.
Credoviettes,
The Greek crescent cookies and the Pfeffernüsse. Like they're just two of my favorite cookies in general. But
I don't think I've never had a homemade
No,
one of
I've
these.
never made homemade Pfeffernüsse.
Oh, it's your first time?
Yeah, never made them before. I just really love the ones you get at Coles.
Speaking of which,
they're really nice.
These to me are like your classic
Pfeffernüsse.
ones, yeah.
Doesn't have titanium oxide in it though.
Disappointing. I like my cookies with microplastics. So like how ginger nut is a cookie.
Yeah.
This is basically just pepper nut.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
it's a pepper gingerbread.
Okay.
They're good.
Fun. It's like probably like top tier grocery store cookie. So we should try your homemade ones. I'm so excited for these. They're so cute.
The
They're like little
shape-
snowballs.
The shape is adorable.
They're so cute.
It is an optimal shaped gingerbread cookie. They smell nice.
Cheers.
Correct.
They're spicier than the store one. And not as sweet.
Yeah.
I think I know where I want to rank that. Full disclosure, I just went to the bathroom. Movie magic. But but as I went to the bathroom, I was like, I had the Pfeffernüsse in my mouth, like in the taste, and I was like, you know what? This would be too spicy for some relatives. It's true. Like, no, come on.
You're completely right.
I just know on Christmas Day I would bring this to like certain members of the family. They'd be like, "Oh, bit spicy." I think I know how I want to rank them. Let me know if you agree.
I think I'm going to agree with you.
Okay, I'm ready for the official ranking. Alrighty, starting from the end. Unfortunately, we are going to include our lovely friend, the Printer.
It wins in its own
It's
category
its own-
of the most interesting, I think.
It's just a wacky little guy. It's festive in its own kind of special way that like Christmas can be suffering.
Medicinal enrichment cookie.
Yes. In front of the Printen, we have the Pulveron or Pulveron. I still don't quite know which one it is. But this is delicious and very like creamy, very buttery, very rich. But it's not one I can like pound down. I can't like take this through the entire festive season. It's like a one and done festive cookie.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna have our delicious Nigella shortbread. It cannot be made in the microwave, but it is delicious. And if you haven't made this shortbread recipe, I would highly recommend you to check it out because I think it's really easy. You can make it in the food processor. You put like everything in the food processor.
I do enjoy food processor cookies.
Thank you, Nigella, for your shortbread gift onto this world, but it doesn't stack up in terms of festiveness compared to some of the others. And then next, I would say equally are the gingerbread and the butter cookie. We kind of like went back and forth. Like this one is like kind of more festive to me, but then this is like,
It's just delightful. If it didn't have the icing, this one would win.
right.
The icing is really, really good though.
Yes, the icing really makes this one. If we didn't actually put vanilla in it, if it was just plain royal
If
icing.
it was pine royal icing, it
This
would
would
be
suck.
boring.
It's because we put like nice vanilla essence that you homemade in this
Yes.
icing, and it's so prominent in this. And I think it's actually in the cookie as well.
Yes.
So this is like a really tasty vanilla cookie, but if it didn't have the vanilla,
It would be boring.
it would be boring. Essence of Christmas festiveness. I'm gonna put the gingerbread slightly above, but they're both delicious in their own special way. And now, in third place, I feel like it's the Credoviettes. Yeah, delicious, stunning festive biscuit. Look at it, delightful, little crescent shape, yum yum, little clove, funky. And it's not horrendously difficult to make.
No.
pretty easy.
It's pretty straightforward. The only thing that makes it difficult is that the recipe does make 70.
Delicious, make a half batch. And then in second place we have the Pfeffernüsse. I was tossing up putting this first, but like I said, it could be a little bit too spicy for some relatives. This would put a Victorian child in a coma potentially. These are delicious. I think these are very festive, but just a little too spicy for Nana. Oh, that's right, the dough was horrific. I will say the dough for this was horrific to handle. You mainly handle it, thankfully,
yeah.
but this is not, it's not a simple cookie.
This one's another honey syrup one, similar to the Printen one. It's very sticky, it's very hard, it's harder to work with than
It's not
glucose
easy to
syrup.
work with, yeah.
Yeah, so when you're rolling the balls
Ugh.
into like, it just like, it does that thing where it just sticks to you.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable.
Not maybe something for a more seasoned baker, but like it's not a beginner cookie, I would say. It's just a little bit more difficult than your classic cookie, which brings us to number one, which actually I think we ate all of those ones. This one, which is number one, very unexpected. I've never tried these before, but this is the Ricciarelli. It's so simple to make. It was like very minimal effort, and I think it's everyone's favorite. Max had one as well, and he was like, we've eaten so many cookies today, but I would actually have a little bit more of these.
Some more. Yeah.
Oh,
It's really good.
It's so good.
This one is basically a mix all the ingredients together cookie, which we love.
They're very impressive as well. Like if you bring these to the party, you'd be like, ooh, but like they're so easy. So I think,
Very much sophisticated.
and it's funny, they don't have any spices in them like the other ones that I would consider to be like the most festive one. But the lemon makes it really festive for some reason, and the icing sugar, it's like all snowy and crinkly and pretty. The best Christmas cookie out of the 8 that we had here today is Ricciarelli. Shout out to Italy, grazie. And we are definitely at that kind of delirious point of the cookie making day. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.